Okay, this video is about leaving the Baptist Church. I'm going to go over a few reasons that I came out of the Baptist Church. The big reason I came out of the Baptist Church, and then a few other reasons after I left that have came to light. And I just want to get that information out there, and if it does anybody any good, great. If not, okay. The first thing, the first thing that made me question if I am in the right place, was in the right place in the Baptist church. I grew up a Baptist. My parents raised me in a Baptist church. We lived in the country, so there wouldn't have been much choice, but I always thought the Baptist church was the right church up until a few years ago. And I just want to get some of the reasonings out there as to why I decided to leave. The big thing, the first thing that made me question where I was at was the Trinity. And the Trinity is a pretty big teaching all around the world, I guess you could say, especially in America. Catholic Church. So it's been around for quite a while. The people who have really looked into it don't think it was around until the 400 or 500 years after the death of Christ, and many say that it wasn't until about 1,000 years after the death of Christ. Anyway, I want to go over these reasons, and we'll get more in depth on each of the items that have come to light since coming out of the Baptist Church. But yeah, the Trinity was the first thing that I started studying to get to the bottom of what it really meant, and I found that lots of people had different ideas on it. And when you start breaking that down, we'll go over that in a future video. Another thing that since then I have come to not believe, or change my outlook on, at least, is heaven. Many times the Bible tells us that we are to inherit the earth, and that heaven is God's throne. Of course, with heaven goes along the kingdom of God, and I believe in heaven, I believe in the kingdom of God, but I don't think that we're going to go up and rule and reign in heaven. I believe we'll be here on earth. We'll get into that, all of these things, later. And another thing was death. And what I believed about death when I grew up was you die and your soul keeps living no matter what. Your spirit keeps living, and your body is dead. But I've changed my outlook on that as well, which also has changed my outlook on hell. And another thing that has changed is being born again. The outlook on being born again, I think, has been taken into something that is looked at in the wrong way. And lastly, pre-tribulation. Pre-tribulation is something else I've changed my mind on. So we will get into these things further in future videos. So Hope you'll stick around for him.